We are here at the Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts for the primetime event, Hobby Talk, and Trade Night that precedes it. Very excited for this evening. Cannot wait to have a conversation on the panel tonight, answering questions about the hobby, current state of the hobby, and other things that revolve sports cards and the hobby as a whole. So let's get into this fantastic night. I can't wait to bring you guys along. In case you weren't there at Hobby Talk, I'll be able to walk you through kind of like you were there. So let's go.
Here hanging out at the Hall of Fame. We're card collectors, we're sports enthusiasts, and I think I can speak for most of us when I say that we found a hobby that we really, truly love and are passionate about. Murph from Murph's Card Town. And we have Jake from 90s B-Ball Cards. Give him a round of applause, guys. Give him a round of applause. What are your feelings on where the hobby is right now?
The hobby's changing on a regular basis. It's very much like the stock market or day trading, if you think about it. It's exactly where the hobby is right now. There's no question about it.
Thinking about comping cards and stuff like that, right? Like, what is your recipe for comping cards? You go to one place and one place only. If you're walking up to a table or you're trying to figure out how you want to price your cards, what is it you're doing to try to get the most accurate value? What are the factors you're taking into account?
So for me personally, I like to try to have an idea of the price point that I want to be at for a certain card or cards. Do I want one card for X, or do I want to try to get 10 cards for X? So that's kind of the initial mindset that I like to have. But in terms of physically looking up the price of a card, I mean, the majority of us just immediately go to eBay, 130 point, whatever. But I try to use different outlets, obviously Sports Card Investor, there's Alt, Center Stage, there's a million and one different resources for us to use. Me personally, I know where I need to be at on certain things. Using different outlets to gauge a price, looking at market trends, seeing if a card's going up or going down, I think is, you have to use various tools and not just one outlet or one website to look up prices and comps.
Yeah, I like that. And, very good point, very well said. Here's the thing, if you have an Instagram page, if you have a Facebook profile, you have a platform and you are really building your brand based on what it is you're posting. So you're the CEO of your own brand when it comes to your social media profile. So I'm a big believer in setting goals and putting things out into the universe and the law of attraction and that kind of thing.
No, I definitely agree on like building a network and searching different places, whether you're going to an auction house, which is a really good resource for rare cards, especially on like the vintage or pre-war side of things.
Everyone might be over comps, it might feel like, right? So you go to tables, or even you and your cards, everyone could be over comps. And I say, I mean, this is just my opinion, but I feel like, you know what, you have the right to be high on your cards, right? I don't think you have the right to mislead someone on what the value of the card is currently, but I think everyone has the right to be high on their cards, and it could be for any number of reasons. I could really believe in this card long term, so I'm going to price it high, or I could be into it for more money and the market is down, so I'm going to be high on it. So I think if anyone's going to be high on their cards, I think it's common courtesy to say, you know what, I'm high on this, but this is what I'm asking for. And as long as you're not trying to mislead the customer about what the value is, then that's fine. Who do you guys think is a buy right now? Who has the crystal ball?
Yeah, there's no crystal ball. The buy is, I'm gonna say this, it's kind of based on what you collect.
So during the summer, we saw a lot of people picking up a lot of football because we were speculating, oh, Josh Allen's gonna make it to the Super Bowl, oh, Herbert's gonna win an MVP. Through 3 weeks of the NFL season, we've kind of seen that Josh Allen may have hit a peak. Herbert looks a little injured. Are these guys going to be able to do it? Now that basketball's starting to ramp up a little bit, we're at the tail end of the off season. So basically what I'm trying to say is these cards that are going from off season to in season, obviously at this current moment, basketball, if you're a hockey collector, hockey, I think those are good buys right now. Players that are not desperate in needs of a championship or MVP, but like a a player that is expected to, a Tatum, a Mitchell who just got traded. Those are some examples. Trae Young, Luka, obviously. So players like that have something still to prove. LeBron is already proven. Steph's proven. Giannis still has something to prove, but again, he's got the MVP. He's got the championship already. He may be out of the price range, but a Tatum, a Luka may still be in there. A Mitchell may still be in your price range. A Trae Young. Those are guys that I'm strongly looking at personally and what I'm recommending for people to buy.
For myself, again, focusing on my collection is the buy, in my opinion.
Yes, sir.
So, kind of to go off the first question about like what's a good buy, I just kind of want to ask the panel what your guys' opinion on like how do you control the hype?
No, it's a good question because let's use an example. Trey Lance.
Yep.
Stuff was crazy. I mean, I was at Nationals walking around Trey Lance. That stuff was crazy. I mean, it was booming. You would have thought he's had, Tom Brady's career, the kind of prices that were going off. So
Exactly.
I'm not sure there's a way that any of us can really control the hype. To be honest with you, once they're overpriced, even for,
Supply and demand.
yeah, it's all supply and demand. But once those prices hit that range, even for myself, I'm not a buyer anymore. If you're going to look at guys like you talked about at that level, just leave it alone and move on because there's really nothing else you can do at that point.
If you just like something like, a CSG slab because you love the way it looks for your collection, ball out, But if you're, again, getting back to that intent, you gotta kind of think through that, but also dig into those types of collectors that collect those type of things, and you'll learn from them.
I definitely want to piggyback off that. If you're a collector and you want to send it out to protect it and you don't plan on selling it or reselling it down the road, it doesn't matter where you go. Go where it makes sense to you. There's a lot of grading companies out there. A lot of them are still in business for obvious reasons because people do like them, whether it's the upper end companies or it's the companies that are just starting out. Do what makes sense for you. Do you want to wait 6 months for a card to come back? Then go ahead. Do you want a card that you want to have come back and be back in your possession within a month or so? That works too. Again, price points, obviously everything. We already talked about the economy and outrageous card prices. There are companies out there that are $20 or less, and then there's other companies that are hundreds and more. So you have to weigh in a lot of these factors. Obviously, there's a lot of companies, whether it's like TGA, HGA with custom labels. Do you want to maximize the appeal of your card? Again, if you're going to resell it down the road, it's a different conversation. So you got to ask yourself these questions as well. And we can give you 4 different opinions up here, but it's going to come down to what you feel is right for your 99 Charizard or your Jordan card that you have. Do you want to collect it and keep it, or do you want to just get it graded and then resell it? Obviously, there's different opinions in the room on that matter, but again, we're all individuals that we're in this hobby for a reason. We all like different things, so do what makes best and the most sense for you.
Yeah, and very well said, guys.
All right, so just got out of Hobby Talk. It was absolutely exceptional. It was fun to be able to communicate and just have a conversation with the hobby, asking questions, answering questions, just talking to you guys, and obviously feeding and picking off the panel members. It was really fun. I can't wait to do it again, and I hope to do it again if John, the showrunner, has me back, which I'd absolutely do in a heartbeat. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please make sure you smash the thumbs up button, comment down below, and if you haven't already, please consider hitting that giant red subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate the love and support. If you enjoyed this video, then I've already queued up a video right here that I do strongly believe is going to be excellent for your sports card endeavors. My hair is crazy, but hopefully I see you there.